Yep, it's me again. They hate us, that's why they give a fuck about us at the same time as always. I am your host, JD Miles. The Mgtows they love to hate, even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate Mgtow at the same time, which is why they keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. Two more days before, 2 more days before I leave Atlanta, heading back to Denver. Once again, thanks for everybody. Thanks for everyone who who allowed me to be a guest at this men's seminar down here in the ATL. Greatly appreciate it. Happy happy to be there. Happy to be seen and heard. Just enjoying my time down here. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. But now we gotta get down to business. Apparently, somebody let their feminist grandma use the camera, and now she's trying to pick a fight with Mgtow. Mgtow boo-hoo, whining, and crying about misogyny when everybody knows Mgtow is not about. Mgtow is not even about hating on women. We all know this for a fact. But apparently, Grandma Feminist here wants wants to make it a Mgtow issue. Okay, let's make it one. Since she's so eager to make this a Mgtow issue. But because you already know Uncle JD here. I don't care if you're a bum on the street or the President of the United States. If you want the work, anyone can get it. But yeah, this old granny feminist past her prime wants to pick a fight with Mgtow. Okay, let's go. Let's get started with this, shall we?
But what I wanted to talk to you the most about is the misogyny that goes on in our society. You know, it seems like more and more men really dislike women. And you got to ask why. Why are men hating on women? Well,
Really? You don't know why, Grandma? I'll tell you why. Maybe it's because the women, maybe because the women believe it's okay to hate on men. You see, Granny feminists, you women believe that, oh, it's okay for women to be misandristic towards men. Y'all could treat men any kind of way you like. While at the same time, y'all expect for those same men that y'all disrespect to show respect. It doesn't work that way, Granny Feminist, which is why you're asking that question. Oh, it's okay when women hate men, but it's not okay when men hate women. This is the reason why y'all constantly boo-hoo, whine, and cry about misogyny. Ain't no one-way streets here. You want respect, then you know what you should do to get it. No one's going to give it to you. It has to be earned. But let's continue on. Let's continue on with what you got to say.
you know, you have to look at where they're coming from. Where is a man coming from? Well, it used to be that the man was always the head of the household. He made all the rules. He made the decisions. What he said was law, basically. And that's because he worked all day, made all the money, and the wife stayed home or the woman stayed home, and she had the kids and raised the kids and kept the house and cooked and cleaned. And, you know, he wanted dinner on the table when he got home at 5 o'clock and wanted a clean house and his laundry done, and he wanted sex when he could have it. And she needed someone to take care of her and pay all the bills. And so she just had to go along. Well, that's
Why do I get the feeling? Why do I get the feeling that what she's talking about here is herself and what she had to go through? I'm not saying that this is exactly what she's been through, but by the way she's speaking, it sounds like she's speaking out of experience. But that's just me. Let's continue.
not where we're at today. Society's no longer like that. Women have to work. A lot of women do it all for themselves. A man shouldn't expect a woman is going to be like they were in the 60s. A new age, new day, new age, new way. But, a lot of them will go back.
But in this new day and new age, where women wants to work, women wants to be independent, they still expect for men to uphold their values while they themselves change on theirs. Something to marinate on.
To their childhoods, and, they were in a dysfunctional family. Maybe their parents didn't get along, but you got to remember back in the day, the people didn't get divorced either. The divorces really started happening, I would say, probably in the 70s. Your parents could have been stuck in a horrible marriage and just didn't divorce because it wasn't acceptable. And so you grew up.
Ma'am, when you say you parents, you mean your parents? And you just gotta love how grandma here thinks that, oh, she knows how we were brought up. She knows how life was like under our parents, as if she's a psychic and she could go all the way back to tell you how you were born, how you were raised, how you were brought up, this type of thing, when in reality, she's speaking by her own upbringing. I'm just throwing that out there, but let's continue.
Up seeing a dysfunctional relationship and thought that was normal. And it may be that, they watched their mama hate their daddy. And, it was mama drama, neglect, and abuse. And
Their mamas hate their daddies. Just like how it goes on today. And yes, you do have mamas that hate their daddies and vice versa. So grandma here is admitting that there are women who also hate men. While she's whining and crying about men hating women. Good to know. Let's continue.
because as little boys, they were never taught to love themselves. They were taught to hate and disguise anything feminine within themselves. And so naturally, they don't like the feminine.
So what grandma is saying here? Oh, men needs to be feminine? Men needs to act like women? Men needs to be soft? Well, apparently grandma that time for God believes that, oh, things should be like men should be out here acting like women. Yeah. Yeah, the women of today will definitely look at a soft, effeminate, weak man as a man. Yeah, sure. Let's continue.
Because they have a lot of feminine traits within themselves. And because of their upbringing, they feel ashamed of it. And the extreme of that is so much femininity that they actually are gay. They're attracted to men because they feel very feminine. There are
Up, up, there it is, fellas. The gay shaming. The feminists' number one weapon against men, gay shaming. Why is that? And the ironic and hypocritical part is she wants to talk about shame, but 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 gay shaming is the feminist way of trying to shame men, while at the same time she wants to bring up shame here. Damn, does this granny feminist hear herself talk right now? Let's continue.
some men even that say they're trapped. They're a female trapped in a male's body. So you never really know.
Uh, please point out the men who are saying that, and not just you, granny feminists running at the mouth. Let's continue.
What's going on inside of their head because people only show you the surface. So, but I think that could be one reason some men hate women is because on the inside, they are attracted to men and they hate that about themselves.
Well, please point out those men who are dealing with that. Or once again, is this old hag trying to make it about that, while at the same time trying to gay shame men, believing that that's the reason why they hate women, in which I'm still trying to figure out what does any of this got to do with Mgtow, besides her making it about Mgtow. But let's continue.
So I think that could be another reason. And so then they dislike and resent a true female because they're female. They're allowed, expected to have feminine traits. I think that's possibly some of it. Can you imagine growing up hearing, boys don't cry, don't show your emotions, it's not okay to cry. No, sis.
And this old hag sit back and she wonders why. And she wonders why men are so misogynistic. Look at the way she speaks and look at the way she's trying to present men in this image. But she's sitting here wondering why men hate women, why men are misogynistic. Imagining complaining about something while in the same breath you answer your own question. But let's continue.
She's allowed. Oh, grow up, grow a pair, get some balls, get a backbone, grow up. Don't be soft. Be tough. Be brave. Be a man.
Well, Grandma Feminist, you sound like I said that's a bad thing. Well, guess what? Men has to toughen up. Men has to be brave. What woman besides you, who is past your prime, wants a soft, weak, effeminate man? What good is that man gonna be to her? If anything happens, that weak man will be the first one to run away before she does. Can you even count that as being a man? While you're sitting here complaining on YouTube, old hag? Let's continue.
So they were taught to hate femininity, and especially if it was within themselves. So could we call them femophobic? Maybe.
So So if they're femophobic old hag, then what does that make you? Mascophobic? No, 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 Grandma Feminist. No, no, Grandma Feminist. If those men are femophobic, then what does that make you? Mascophobic? Okay then, let's continue.
Baby. They hate the feminine. So I call that femophobic, feminine phobic.
Just as much as you hate masculinity, ma'am. So that makes you mascophobic or masculinophobic. Okay, let's continue.
And not only that, women are really on the rise. They have been on the rise. Okay, they're educated, they have careers, they make money, and they're complete on their own. They don't need a man to buy a car. They don't need a man to buy a house. And anymore, you don't even need a man to have a baby. You just go right on down to the sperm bank.
Again, does Grandma Feminist hear herself talk? And once again, she just answered her own question. And once again, it's okay for women to hate men, but it's so foul when men hate on women. Oh, but their sexism is okay. Ain't nothing like being called a misogynist by an old, wrinkled, past their prime, misandrous woman like this old hag. And back to that last part that you said, ma'am. Oh, oh, you don't you don't need a man to make a baby. You just go right to the sperm bank. And where do these sperm banks get their sperm from, old hag? We all know these sperm banks don't get sperm from out of thin air. So where do these sperm banks get their sperm from? Oh, that's right. The men has to go to these sperm banks, donate their sperm in order for these women who don't need a man to go to these sperm banks and get their babies. So basically, that last part that you just said, women don't need a man to have a baby, you just shot yourself in the foot. Because by the end of the day, it takes men to donate their sperm for those sperm banks to have sperm for you women who don't need men. Boy, don't you look stupid right now making that retarded fuck ass statement. Let's continue.
In vitro fertilization. So, is that why a lot of men are now hating on women?
And don't talk about men hating on women when it's clear to see that your video right here clearly depicts you, a woman, hating on men. And at this point, we no longer want to hear shit about misogyny when you believe that it's okay it's okay for you to show your misandry on YouTube. Oh, it's okay for you to show the world that, oh, it's okay for you to hate men on YouTube. We ain't trying to hear this shit anymore. What does this has to do with Mgtow? This is the main part that we trying to get to. Let's continue.
And there's a whole movement called Men Going Their Own Way. I think it's Mgtow. Mgtow.
And let me correct you, old hag. Mgtow is a philosophy, not a damn movement. Geez, how many times you gotta tell these retards this shit? Oh, Mgtow is a movement. Mgtow is a movement. No, it's a philosophy, not a movement. Get the shit right. Let's continue.
That's been going on for at least a decade. Is it the men are intimidated? Are they jealous and envious of these women because women are rising?
Or maybe because us Mgtows want to be left alone. Maybe because us Mgtows decided to walk away. Maybe because us Mgtows want to enjoy the solo lifestyle. Isn't that what Mgtow is about? Rather than the bullshit that is flying out those wrinkly lips of yours? And by the way, ma'am, it seems like you're trying to pick a fight with Mgtow because of your feminism, in which only thing us Mgtows is gonna say is this: don't come crying to us when Mgtows come back responding to you, embarrassing you in the process. We wasn't messing with you, ma'am, but you decided that you wanted a fight with us. Let's continue.
And by the way, have you been to a woman doctor lately? I know of 2 incidences personally where 2 female surgeons outperformed 2 male surgeons. Same surgeries, 2 different people. Okay? Those women got it down to a science, which it is a science anyway.
Why? Why? And by the way, my dentist is a female. My eye doctor is a female. But the question is, what does that has to do with Mgtow either? And why would you even bring that shit up as if, oh, a female doctor can outdo a male doctor? There are male doctors that can outdo female doctors too. So what is even the point of bringing that up? Can this old hag answer this question? I doubt it. Let's continue.
But I'm talking about they don't waste your time. They're not parts and pieces cutters unless that's what needs to happen. They know it forwards and backwards, inside and out. Whereas the men doctors appeared to be incompetent. So that's why I think a lot of these men are hating on women.
And once again, this retarded fuck ass old hag has just shown the world that she has a hatred for men, while at the same time she's whining and crying about men hating on women. And at this point, I don't want to hear shit about, oh, misandry doesn't exist. Nope. You're hearing this from this old hag herself. She's a feminist who hates men, while at the same time she wants to whine and cry about men hating on women. And yes, you could easily tell because Look how she make a big deal about misogyny and men hating on women, while at the same time throughout her entire video, she constantly answered her own question. Especially with the doctor part. She's trying to make male doctors look look as dumb as possible over female doctors. And which who the fuck cares? Male, female, it doesn't matter. They are there. Those doctors are there to make sure you're in good health. And it's clear to see that she has a big issue with men. But if she has a big issue with men, then doesn't that make her a misandrist? Yes, it does. Does that mean that she hates men? Yes, she does. So why is she on YouTube boo-hoo, whining, crying, bitching, moaning about men hating women, while at the same time she's showing everybody on YouTube that she's no better in the same category? Straight up. But let's hear more of her retarded fuck shit that don't make no sense.
Because women do it right the first time. We might have to read the directions, but we'll do it right the first time. And half-ass is not generally our way. That's why a woman can get it done in 15 minutes versus a man takes 45.
Doesn't mean a woman won't fuck the shit up. Is this what she's trying to relay across? And yes, there are females in positions that will fuck shit up too. While she's trying to make it sound like, oh, only the men fuck their jobs up. Nope. There's a lot of females fucking up their jobs too. And yes, you gotta love how this old hag is trying to make everything about gender separatism. And so desperately at that. But let's continue on.
Because he's got to redo his. He didn't do it right the first time. So maybe that's why a lot of these men are hating on women today. Maybe they need a testosterone.
Because of retarded fuck-ass bitches like you who wants to hate on men. But oh, it's wrong. But oh, it's so wrong when it's the other way around. And yes, and this is a problem. This is a problem with women like her. She feels that it's okay to hate on men, look at them as less than, and all that jazz. But when it's the other way around, now she wants to boo-hoo, whine, cry, bitch, and complain about men hating on women. Men are misogynist. Oh, but it's okay. Oh, but it's okay when women are sexist, according to this old hag. Yeah, we get it. We all get it. It's only okay when women do it, but it's foul when men do it. We get all that shit. And at this point, I'm not losing any more brain cells listening to this retard go on in her video. And at this point, I'm done. I said what I had to say. Can somebody please come get their dumbass, old past their prime grandma feminist off of YouTube before she embarrasses herself any further? And I'm out this bitch. Later.